just thunder. Just thunder. Okay, sweet girl. I know it's scary. I know. You're safe. You're safe. No. I got you. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Scary rain monster can't get in. Look at that! The power came back on. The big rain scary monster's going away, right? Hey everyone, welcome to Strong Hands Reborn. Dad, my name is Odie. What you just saw there is actually a type of therapy. It's kind of like a positive reinforcement. So if you struggle with PTSD, anxiety, and things like thunderstorms, fireworks, loud cars, things like that drive by, especially at night, and it raises that alert system in you and it kind of triggers those. I just want to talk about one way of positively reinforcing that, basically of caring for one of your reborns if you don't have actual little kids, obviously. But it's a really good way to project out confidence, even if you don't feel confident. And we're going to talk all about that coming up. That's right. If you struggle with anxiety, PTSD, and things like fireworks and thunderstorms and those kind of things, especially in kind of a scarier situation like, the power being out. That's actually what happened to me this last weekend when we were coming home from a sporting event. And I guess I just kind of want to talk about it. Sometimes I think that when we're faced with things that really get us going, trigger bad memories, trigger fears that we still have inside, and there's no outlet for it. Sometimes people might have a security blanket. Sometimes people just kind of go into an interior room. And even then, that's just like not enough. If it's the loud noises and things like that bother you, or you find yourself in a high stress kind of situation that raises your peak anxiety, one of the things that people do, and even myself a little bit, is find a way to more positively let that anxiety and fear out rather than just bottling it up or letting it manifest in a negative way. And I think one of the greatest ways that we have, especially like in a power outage where there's no power, there's no TV, there's no distractions really. Your phone's only going to last so long. You don't know how long the power's going to be out. And so reborn dolls don't require batteries. Most don't, actually. Some do, depending. But most don't require batteries. And I think that being able to just hold one of the dolls and project that positivity out for them, like you're caring and like taking care of a scared child, and because that's a very believable situation. You may have even done that in the past with your own kids who are grown, who don't need that kind of reassurance, but it's helpful for you to have an outlet to project positivity, even if you're not feeling positive about the situation. It's a way to kind of make it less scary by at least acting and role playing a parent who is caring for their small child who's very afraid, and you are comforting them, thereby kind of easing your own fears, or at least distracting you long enough. So I thought this would be a great lesson to kind of show. And I also wanted to share a story about why I came up with this and the idea behind it. And so for us this last weekend on the 4th of July, we got to go out to a banana ball game. And I'll have a couple photos up here on the screen, but it's like Harlem Globetrotters meets baseball. It was crazy, but it was also really stressful because when we got there, there was a 2-hour rain delay. It was an absolute mess. And we ended up crowding in a concourse that was really hot. It was upper 80s, like near 90 degrees, and it just felt even hotter down in that concourse. And I was just absolutely uncomfortable with the whole thing. And honestly, I thought about telling Raven, you know what? We don't even know if they're going to get to play the game with the rain that came through and the lightning and all of that. And, it was really kind of stressful. And you crammed 60,000 other people in a small space, and there were people that passed out. I saw a little girl throw up right in front of us, and it was just horrible. To the Banana Ball people credit, they tried to make it fun. They had a marching band kind of going through the crowd at different points, and they were trying to do trivia and all that. But eventually they got the game in and had a lot of fun. They really make it a point that it's like a 3-ring circus surrounded by a version of baseball that you probably wouldn't recognize very much of. But it was still a lot of fun. It's hard to take the sport seriously. Just a little review. There's lots of crazy rules about if a fan catches a ball that is a foul, but they catch it cleanly, it counts as an out. They don't do innings, they do points. They have a 2-hour limit, and if they can't get to all 9 innings in that time, then it's over. We actually saw triple, it's not called overtime, I forget what they called it, but it was really interesting. And it was my first ever Banana Ball, and it was a lot of fun. Junior had a lot of great memories there too, and it was good. But when we left, it got scary pretty quick. We got from Iowa City, we had to get back to Des Moines, and it was normally about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours drive, normally. And it took us so much longer. When we got close to Newton, I'd say, on I-80 heading west, we got dumped on the first big batch of storms, and it let up. We almost got to Altoona before it let loose. And I'm talking torrential rainfall, blinding rain. It was so bad that Raven had to pull the car over twice to the shoulder, and there was ponding all over. It was really, really scary. We eventually got close to the house, and that's when we saw all the tree limbs, the debris in the road. We could tell the power was going in and out. And finally, it was about 2:30, 2:40. We got close to our neighborhood. We saw that the power was out in our neighborhood, and we thought, oh, great. So we got home, power's out. We struggled to get inside. It was still pouring out, and it was kind of just scary. And in that moment for me, because I was focused on finding some candles, getting a flashlight, shutting down my radio station because I knew it had been running on battery backup at that point. So I had to do all that. So I was kind of distracted. But I think, especially since I had that high adrenaline, because I had been up since 5 a.m. the previous morning. And it's now 2:45, almost 3 in the morning the next day. So I'd been up for 22 hours now at this point because I had to go to work that day before we went to the game. And so my anxiety's up, my patience is low, and I didn't have a chance to grab one of the Reborns because of the situation. But sometimes, when I was thinking back on that night this week, my mind went, I wonder after I had gotten the candles, instead of just sitting there kind of stressing, I wonder if I would have grabbed Penny, or I would have grabbed Livy, or even Evelyn and Sarah, one of the Reborns, any of them really, especially ones that are weighted. I wonder if it would have helped. I wonder if it would have calmed my nerves, maybe helped me start to get some sleep, because I'm also one of those people, I can't sleep without a fan on, and I certainly can't sleep in the pitch dark. I have to have something on. And it's not that I'm afraid of the dark or anything like that. It's that if I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't have a small source of light to orient myself, I don't know, maybe it's a blind person thing, but I can't orient myself. And it's very kind of scary for a few moments until I find something that gives me something grounding. So I can't do like a pitch black room. But yeah, and then I thought maybe I would have been a little better off if I would have grabbed one. And then I had this idea of, what if I set this video up and simulated something about how we could have taken something that was very anxious and scary and anxiety heavy and made it a little less? How could we have used our reborn dolls, especially those of us who use them for therapy, as a therapy tool? And I think that would have been a perfect example. And also being the 4th of July, there's fireworks going on. In Iowa, it's legal on the 3rd and 4th to shoot them off anywhere in the state. And, there's a lot of noise. And dogs get scared. People get anxious who, like I said, have really bad anxiety, PTSD, any other struggles like that. They've also got their own kids. And kids naturally gravitate to those things too, right? Your kid, when they're scared, they grab a stuffed animal or they grab a toy or something like that. I don't think that just because we're grown means we can't project kind of that same thing. I think it's a mindset. I think it's a tool like anything else. And I love a good scented candle too. That's why I actually had the candle. This is one of my favorite candles. Yeah, I'm a candle guy. Leave me alone about it. But I'm very picky. So don't go sending me candles in the mail. Um, but I like a good smell of candles. There's certain scents. I like a lot of lavender, vanilla. I like fresh breeze kind of scents, those kind of things. And those tend to calm me down. So having a good candle, even in the dark, can help. One other thing I like to do with the dolls is I'll put a scent wafer in their diaper. So it's tucked in, out of the way, and that way they smell good. They smell like a fresh baby. I think there's even a scent out there called nursery, and it smells exactly like a baby's nursery. So then obviously your baby smells like a nursery, right? But yeah, so I just thought I'd talk about that and share that story with you and kind of get your guys' thoughts. Do you ever use your reborn dolls for that kind of therapy? Does it help in thunderstorms or kind of stressful situations to project to them that confidence, even if you don't feel it yourself? I'd really love to know in the comments below. Also love to see your babies. Before I forget, I got 2 announcements to make, and I keep forgetting to do these, and I haven't made a big deal out of it. But if you go to stronghandsreborndad.com, there's 2 active forms there right now. In our contact form, you can submit photos of your reborns to our community gallery and have it featured on our website. I haven't been pushing that lately. I just want to remind you guys it's there. I know on YouTube, people have been using the community section on YouTube, which is fantastic. I love seeing your photos there. But if you would like to put them as part of our community gallery on our website, you're more than welcome to do that. The other thing I want to mention is we still have the New Home for Little Livy giveaway nomination event happening. And so we're looking for people to nominate someone else to win a free reborn doll. That's right. I'm giving away my little Livy. She's a well-loved Ashton Drake doll. And along with that, you would get a couple outfits for the nominee and also an NLT Bible and a personal note from me. The only restriction is you do need to be 18 or older to nominate someone, and the nominee address to ship to needs to be within the continental United States. I've had a couple questions on this regarding shipping. Yes, I'm okay shipping to a P.O. box as long as, again, it's within the continental United States. And then also, can the address be the nominator? Yes, it can. We have no way to verify that. It's on our system. Please don't nominate yourself or tell a story that's for someone else, but really it's for you. Please be honest about it. Honestly, we have no mechanism to double check that. So we're really just looking for people to be honest. It's better to give than receive anyway, right? So nominate somebody who you feel would be very well deserving of a reborn doll. We have our panel that's also helping. They're going to, when the nominations close on July 27th, the panel, who consists of Raygun. She's a reborn doll content person, not super big, but she's absolutely a collector. We have Bitty Bunny Reborn Nursery, and we also have Hippie Mama Reborn Nursery. Those 3 ladies are going to be helping me select a nominee. We have all the rules and details on the website. Again, stronghandsreborndad.com. You're going to get a pop-up, or you can go to stronghandsreborndad.com/nominate. I've got graphics and all of that on the screen. So please go do that. And I really hope that today's video helped you. I hope it gave you another tool if you struggle with PTSD, anxiety, or just generally get very anxious during thunderstorms or fireworks, that the dolls can be used as a tool to help with that. And I encourage you guys to project that confidence and enjoy what you're doing, by the way. Never feel ashamed for your reborn dolls. Never feel bad about it, especially in a situation like that. Talk to them, pretend. I think imagination is good even for adults, and it helps us just kind of deal with it in a more positive way rather than letting it fester. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. And remember, strength looks different here on Strong Hands Reborn Dad. And Penny says bye.